Welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into the ancient wisdom of Proverbs 25. We're going to uncover what it calls a hidden glory. You know, the kind of wisdom that isn't just handed to you, but that you have to actually discover through careful searching. We'll explore how real power is often found in things like restraint, humility, and really thoughtful leadership. So let's start the search.
So let's start with this fascinating question. What if the biggest truths in life aren't just broadcast for everyone to hear? What if they're hidden on purpose, almost like an invitation for us to become seekers? That's really the core idea we're chasing today, that the search itself is where so much of the value is.
And this is the verse that really sets the stage for everything. It suggests that this isn't about God keeping secrets from us. It's about this noble, almost royal pursuit of trying to understand things. The real glory, then, isn't just having the answer, but in the actual process of searching for it.
All right, so here's the map for our search today. We're going to start with the mindset of a seeker, then we'll get into the strength of humility. After that, we'll talk about the art of apples of gold, the danger of being an unwalled city, and we'll wrap up with the power of a surprising kindness.
Okay, first up, a royal pursuit. And this isn't just about collecting a bunch of facts, no. This is about adopting a whole new mindset, the mindset of a seeker.
So what does this royal mindset actually look like? Well, it's a deliberate practice. It's about hitting the pause button instead of just reacting. It means you're searching for the whole story. You're looking for the nuances, and you're thinking carefully before you decide to speak or act. And honestly, this one approach shapes everything that comes after.
You know, that seeker's mindset leads us straight into our second theme, the strength of humility. And this is where we find out that true power, real strength, often looks a lot like waiting, observing, and just listening. I mean, the advice here is just so practical. Instead of trying to push yourself forward and demand a spot at the table, the idea is to let your values speak for itself, to let others recognize it. And that posture isn't weakness at all. It's a kind of quiet, powerful confidence.
So, you can see there are really two different paths you can take. Path one is all about chasing titles, getting that recognition, right? But the second path, the path of wisdom, is about patiently building trust and letting your character do the talking for you. One is pretty fleeting, the other is built to last.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? In this way of thinking, honor is a byproduct. It's not the main goal. It has this funny way of finding the people who are way more focused on what they can contribute than on who gets the credit.
Now, this quiet confidence doesn't just shape our actions. It completely changes our words. And that brings us to this beautiful idea of apples of gold, the art of powerful, well-timed communication.
What a great metaphor, right? It's telling us it's not just what you say, but it's how and when you say it that matters so much. A word that is aptly spoken, as it says here, becomes this little masterpiece, this rare and valuable thing.
So these apples of gold, they're words that are beautiful, they're intentional, and because of that, they're pretty rare. I love this part because it reframes gentleness. It's not weakness, it's actually immense strength that's being carefully controlled and used for good.
And here are the stakes. The reason this is so critical is because the opposite is absolutely true. Thoughtless, careless words, they're not neutral. They can cause real, lasting damage. So wisdom teaches us to speak with intention, or sometimes, maybe not to speak at all.
The kind of discipline it takes to control our words really just points to a much deeper need, and that's discipline over our entire inner world. This brings us to this powerful image of the unwalled city.
So what are the enemies that create breaches in that wall? Well, they're internal. Things like unchecked anger, envy, fear, and pride. When we let them run rampant, they act like cracks in a city's defenses, leaving us totally vulnerable and exposed.
This verse just paints such a vivid picture. A person who lacks self-control is like a city with its walls broken down, completely defenseless. There's no stability, there's no safety, not from the outside world and not from your own internal chaos.
So here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't just about managing your feelings so you feel better. When these impulses run wild, they actively distort our judgment. We literally stop seeing things clearly, which pretty much undermines all the other wisdom we've been trying so hard to build.
Okay, so once our inner city is a bit more fortified, we can start to apply this wisdom to our relationships, especially the really tough ones. And this leads us to our final theme, a surprising kindness.
The advice for handling conflict here is, well, it's pretty counterintuitive. It says, know when to stop arguing. It says to actively choose kindness when everything in you wants revenge, and to practice generosity when your first instinct is to retaliate. This stuff requires that royal wisdom we talked about at the beginning, that pause, that search for a better way forward.
And this metaphor just perfectly captures the huge impact that choosing kindness can have. An encouraging word, given at just the right time, can feel as refreshing as a glass of cold water to someone who is absolutely exhausted. It literally has the power to revive their spirit.
And this is exactly why it matters so much. This isn't just some nice idea. It's a real possibility. You never ever know who around you is that weary soul. And your simple words of kindness, of encouragement, could be the very thing they need to just keep going.
So, to bring it all together, it's like this ancient text is handing us our own royal mission, to seek out hidden truth, to speak with grace, to guard our own hearts, and to refresh other people.
And that brings us to our final question, the one that turns this whole explainer right back to you. After all this searching, what wisdom has been placed right there in plain sight in your own life, just waiting for you to finally notice it?